My name is Dunker, and this is my bike. Since I stayed at another nice hotel, there was a breakfast waiting for me, and I chowed down. In Florida, I was in the habit of riding close to or right on the white line, but here in South Carolina, most of the white lines have this ripple on them. I suppose it's so that people can find the edge of the road when it's covered with snow or something like that. Anyway, I kept riding on the ripple by accident because of my habit of riding on or near the white line. The one thing I can't complain about is the scenery. A lot of the roads were covered with trees like this. It was very beautiful to ride in, even though it was a little wet. My first stop of the day was to get some groceries from a store I found, Family Dollar. I loaded up on some pasta and fruit and Pop-Tarts. After the rain stopped, it got a little chilly, so I put on my Superman hoodie, and shortly after that, I got another flat. I believe I've gotten pretty good at replacing inner tubes on the side of the road. So anyway, this is what I look like pumping up a tire. One thing I've definitely learned on this trip is that although the scenery is beautiful, I much prefer to not ride out in the boonies. My energy level seems to drop not being around buildings and people and stuff. I don't know why that exactly is. Maybe I'm afraid I'll get, broken down and abandoned, or I don't know. Anyway, it's still beautiful, and I'm trying to enjoy that. One thing I hadn't really thought of was that South Carolina is full of swamps, and this would be a scary place to break down. Oh my gosh. I took another break and tried to get a little artsy with a photograph of my bike. And shortly after that, I hit a small town and hit a piece of debris on the side of the road, which blew out my tire again. And back on the road, and man, if I thought Georgia had miles and miles and nothing, South Carolina is like orders of magnitude more. There is just, whew. So I found myself having to take my breaks in a little piece of shade on the side of the road. The rest of the day was quite uneventful, but I thought you'd like to get a closer look at these lovely little ripples that are all over South Carolina. Every once in a while, I try to be artsy with a picture of my bike. I found this piece of land, and the moon was in the sky. It's kind of hard to see, but I thought it'd be a cool shot. And I found a motel to stay at, a Super 8 in Santee, South Carolina. South Carolina is being a much longer trip than I thought. I think that maybe the hills are wearing me out or something. But thanks for watching, and keep track of the rest of my stuff at dunkerbike.com.